Hey guys, welcome to Link into Retro. I'm your host, Link Enforcer, and today we're going to be talking about how to patch Shining Force 3 into English. Stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so before we get started, all the links you're going to need are going to be in the description below. With that said, we're going to hop over to our PC now. We're on the Wikipedia page for Shining Force 3 because I want to point out a couple of things to you real quick before we get started. The game was released on Sega Saturn in Japan on December 11th of 1997. It did not come to the Europe or North America until June 1998 and July 31st of 1998. If you look at Scenario 2 and Scenario 3 at the bottom there, those were released in Japan only on April 29, 1998 and September 23rd, 1998. So between the release of Scenario 2 and Scenario 3 in Japan, that is when they released Scenario 1 in Europe and North America. We never got a Scenario 2 or Scenario 3 because the Sega Saturn wasn't doing so well in Europe and North America. So we had Scenario 1 only, and it was kind of modified a little bit, and the ending was very much a cliffhanger. So we're going to talk about how to get all three scenarios into English today so that you can play the entire game if that was your experience, as it was mine as a kid. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to come over to Shining Force Central. They do have a translation project that they've been working on since 2009. They are up to the patch version 21. First patch was released in August of 2010. But you want to come here, you're going to want to click this right here. And you want to click Save. I've already got it saved, so I don't need to do that. Also, just real quick, there are some patch instructions here that you should read over. You are going to need the Scenario 1 of the English or European version for this patch to work. Also, while you're patching, there is a modification you can install called Paul_Metz View Increase mod, and it just slightly improves the screen size and the resolution. So it's kind of up to you, but it's recommended, but it may not be ideal for all setups, as it says right there. Once you've got this downloaded, you can go ahead and close out the window. I've got my Shining Force 3 folder here with the patch. Go ahead and double click the patch. We're going to browse and put it into our Shining Force 3 folder. We're going to click OK, and we're going to click Extract. Now, when that's done, you've got a folder up here. Double click it. There's two ways you can do this, through ISO Maker or through their Patcher EXE. I like to use their Patcher, so we're going to double click that. Now, once I've already put the first disk in. So once you put the first disk in, it's going to pop up. It's going to actually recognize what disk you have in. You're going to click OK. We're going to go ahead and add this mod, and we're going to click Patch. Now, if this happens to you guys right here, there is a workaround. It's a bit of a pain. Go ahead and click this. You close the program, cancel it out. Come to ISO Maker. Double click that. Click Scenario 1. That's what we have. And click Make CD. Click the drive that you have it, or double click the drive that you have it in. It's going to start going through it through the command here. Now, this will not implement the mod. So if you don't want the mod, this is a way to work around patching the game without using their patcher. Once this is done, I'll be back with you guys and I'll show you guys that this fixes the issue that we just saw. Alright, and it's done. As you can see, we have a Q file, a disk image file, and a bin file here. So this is patched up, but like I said, we want to use this down here. So just double click this again, click OK, check the mod off, click Patch, and now we can actually navigate to our Shining Force folder and to the scenario 1 folder here that I've created. We're going to name the file Shining Force 3 scenario 1 and click save. And now it's going to go through its little process over here on the left hand side. It's actually going to put it into the folder there. Alright, patch is complete. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through this step with the other disks. You shouldn't have to run ISO Maker in order to get that bug with the patcher to eliminate itself. It should be fine now. However, if it does pop up again, you know how to fix it. So I'll be back with you guys as soon as I'm done patching all 3 of these games. Okay guys, so I was able to successfully patch all 3 games, including the premium disc, which I also have. I did have to unfortunately run ISO Maker on every disc before I could get the translation patcher to work without that bug that I showed you. One thing to note, before you run ISO Maker on the new disc, delete these 3 files. I even had to run ISO Maker twice on a couple of discs before this would work. It was almost like I had to run ISO Maker once it completed. As soon as it completed, I had to run the translation patcher, because if there was any amount of time in between the completion of what ISO Maker does and me running this, I would run into the same bug. I have no idea why that's happening, but that's how I was able to get it to work. If you just want to patch the game without having to run through all that, you can just use ISO Maker and just move these. Just make sure that once you complete the ISO Maker patch, you put these 3 files into its designated folder, whether it's scenario 1, 2, 3, premium disc, whatever, before you run it again. Otherwise it will overwrite these files and you won't know what game you got. However, if you do want that that modification, that's kind of the only workaround that I've been able to find, so you can run this and apply the modification to the patch. But that is pretty much how you patch the Shining Force 3 games into English. I will be going over another video on how to mount and play these images through emulators, so stay tuned for that. And I really appreciate you guys coming out. If you guys found this video helpful, please be sure to comment, like, and share this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. With that said, I'll catch you guys later. Take care.